Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Good evening and welcome everybody back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Good evening to the cat that just walked across Fiona's camera.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, that's fine.
No.
It is fine. We are here, of course. Why would we both be here on I've got the rain from Scotland. I don't know what Fiona's got.
It's dry here tonight. The stars are out. It's pretty.
Now, the stars are out.
Change.
There's it. Why would we be here on a Wednesday evening, Thursday by the time you guys see it? Would only be one thing, 3 letters, NWA. There you go on Fiona's jacket. Before we get into Powerr, there is at least 3 bits of news to discuss. You may know 2 of them. You may not know one of them because it's only just been put out on the socials. So I'll go with that one first because I don't know if you're going to know who these guys are, but I'm going to read out a tweet. There was someone called Kerry Awful. I don't know if that ever rings a bell from your NWA days, but he says,
okay.
My career started with the NWA many years ago. Looks like it's time for Nick, Iggy and I to reintroduce ourselves to the new era of the NWA. The Carnies are coming. If you're brave enough, step right up and they will be at the tapings on November the 4th.
Oh, that's exciting.
So
I haven't seen any social media tonight. I've literally just got back in the house, so I have seen nothing. I have no idea what's going on in the world right now. So that's caught me off guard. I'm gonna have to go and have a wee look at that. So
you go and rehearse. I was going to say rehearse, but that's not the word I was looking for. Actually,
research.
Research. There you go. This is water, by the way. Still water. I have not.
Fancy.
I had most of the week I've been having non-alcoholic beer on this show, and I've been trouble getting my words out. So I just wanted to let everybody know that is, in fact, still water, not alcohol or of any sort. Anyway, next bit of news was one I sent you over the weekend. Master Matt Cardona is coming back to the NWA for Samhain. Yes, I can.
Thank you, 1PW.
Yeah, cheers for that, guys. Yeah, pay your talent. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, we're not going to get into 1PW because that's a whole different kettle of shit. Not fish, shit. We're not going to get into that. But he's coming back for Samhain, which
that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that because they've not announced his opponent or anything, so we don't know what he's doing or what's going to happen. But he is King of the Death Match. It's a hardcore pay-per-view, so who knows?
Who knows? What is he going to be up to at this one? I dread to think what he's going to be doing at that pay-per-view. And the final piece of news before we get into Powerr was, again, it happened at the weekend. NWA are bringing back the territories, starting with X-Pro Wrestling. They have joined the National Wrestling Alliance. It is EC3's old promotion, or local promotion.
Our home, it's his promotion, yeah.
Promotion, so massive, and it's bringing back the old school to wrestling, Fiona.
Oh, I am so excited. The possibilities for this are endless. Oh, honestly, like I was buzzing. I was in 2 minds. I knew they were making an announcement, and I was like, it's either that they've got a TV deal or they're going to go territories. I'm really glad they're going territories. It means the Exodus Pro Championship belt is going to be recognised by NWA, which is amazing. It opens up so many opportunities for the existing NWA roster and then all the wrestlers in these new promotions. So many new possibilities of matches and feuds and championships, and I'm just really excited. I just hope they do it slowly. They don't go in. I would like to see it slow, a slow growth. I was watching the Alliance blog last night before NWA, and we were talking about that on there in the chat, and we were just saying that there's so many opportunities. My kind of next move, I think I'd be looking at JCP Promotions in Tennessee, Joe Casana Promotions, where our friend AJ, it's his dad's company. They've been there. They were really, really well established. A kind of mid-south sort of promotion, I think, would be great next. But I don't want to see them rush into it. But yeah, I am super, super excited. It's good news.
Yes. Exciting times for the NWA as well, as it's all been this season. Let's get into it. So Powerr was called When the TV Stars Align, and I'm not going to forget this week, the cold opening to Powerr was centered around the television title and Mims and
Zicky Dice.
Opponent Zicky Dice. That was a big, nice package, basically showing how Zicky Dice was a former champion.
Yeah, the history and everything
Yeah.
with him. So that was cool because I remember him holding that belt and then COVID hitting and then his contract expiring and deciding that he was going to move on and things like that. So, and Mims has been around forever. Mims has been around the kind of NWA from the very, very first Power episode. So, and then we had the rundown, but then it went straight into that match. I was expecting that to potentially be main event, and
That's
they
what I
went
was thinking.
straight in.
Into Mims and Zicky Dice. Really strong opener. It was kind of like the wily veteran versus the younger stud, so to speak. And Zicky was doing a lot of the veteran moves. The one thing, though, that because this match was for the TV Championship, the TV Championship was vacated because Tom Latimer dropped it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah,
Tom dropped it. Yeah.
Tom dropped it to get his shot EC3. There was one bit where Zicky Dice rolled out the ring and was leaving, and I was like, "Well, just stay in the ring, Mims. You've won the title."
Yeah.
Do that, but no, he wanted to win it, and they made a point of that in the commentary. He wanted to win it the good way because I think Danny Deals was saying we should have just let him go. You know,
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it. But anyway, and then there was lots of, as the match progressed and as it finished, there was lots of counters to roll ups, and there was a bit where there was a roll up. I think it was like a 2.3 or 4 count.
It was close. It was really close.
Mims kicks out. Zicky argues with the ref, which allows Mims to roll him up and now become the NWA TV champion.
And that was, I don't know if you've caught it, but that was Mims' 5th attempt at that belt. I am delighted for him. I have met Mims when I've been over at the shows. He's worked so hard. He's worked his way up. He used to build the ring for NWA before he even set foot in it. I am so excited for him. I love Zicky Dice to death. I do. I adore Zicky, but I am delighted for Mims. Absolutely chuffed to bits for him.
Zicky did make a point of saying this isn't over, though.
No, I know. What's next? You never know what Zicky's going to get up to. He's a bit of a dark horse. So this is very much a case of watch and see what happens.
Watch and see, maybe something with Samhain, who knows? EC3 was next, and it was quite funny. They were talking about Tom Latimer and come on with a line. He was saying about obviously Camille, because they were saying about how Camille's going to be the insurance policy for Latimer. Yeah. And he was saying about, Camille is his demon. And then he said he was almost cuckold, but he one of those references again, when there's more references later, don't you worry about that.
But on that point, just to sidestep slightly, I don't know, one of the few things that I have seen on social media today is a response from Camille on her Instagram. So
yeah, I haven't seen. I've seen it. I haven't watched it, so I'm gonna watch it.
It's worth going back and checking out. But basically, EC3 was saying that Camille was basically the demon, and that was the demon that Tom's fighting, as opposed to fighting for the belt. So
yeah, he made interesting. Yeah, he did say that there was when you had a love, you had one soulmate. EC3 chose the title.
And Tom chose Camille. Tom chose love.
And he can't have both. It was basically what.
So he says, anyway. Who knows? Only a couple of weeks to find out. So
we are literally, I want to say, 2 weeks. 2 weeks this weekend away. From Samhain. I'm saying it perfectly now.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
Amazing. After me calling it Samhain or whatever it was at the start. It was time to boo Kerry Morton next.
Boo Kerry!
Boo Kerry Morton. This was an absolute squash of a match.
Very much so. Very, very much so.
Spectacular.
Rolando and Rush. Oh, bless them.
They let's say they didn't have, I think it was just Rush that caught the majority of this. Lots of frequent tags from the Southern Six. And then the green whistle.
Well, and Julie and Alex got the win for the boys. Kerry, not Kerry, Ricky on side as well, and no interference for once in his life. Well done, Ricky.
Well done, Ricky. I didn't think he needed it on this one.
No, they didn't at all. At all.
Absolutely.
As much as I love to boo Kerry, I love the Southern Six. I think they're great. I love Alex. I think Alex is great. And begrudgingly, Kerry is a good wrestler. He's entertaining, but I do love the whole idea of the Southern Six, and the fact that there's only 3 of them makes me giggle. So
I have to say this: I do think the Spectaculars need to work on that entrance. I'm not a fan of whatever that. It was like me on the dance floor. I'm really, it's like something that I never want to see.
Wait till I'm going to speak to Rachel
Through
about that.
sober eyes, anyway. Yeah, that was good. The next bit was a quite intense promo. Was the Savages, or the Former?
Loved it. I loved it.
Jax
in a tie-dye Dayglow t-shirt.
What was that about?
I love this new Jax. I even tweeted this last night. This new Jax, I adore wholeheartedly. I am in for this. I am all in for this Jax.
They were basically saying again, you know, they were talking about Jax not taking the shot when they had it. And lastly, where this was more from Chris Silvio, was basically saying now he's got a submission match with their good buddy Troop. And Jax was basically saying that he's going to make him tap like a bitch. Was the
that was some pretty hefty claims there. I think that's going to be a banger of a match, to be honest with you. Jax is a big lad. Jax is built as affectionately as I would say, like a brick shithouse, basically. And the thing, Troop's huge. He's so tall, but then obviously he's got the MMA background and stuff like that. So I was thinking, they were going, how can you get someone with like traps and neck muscles like that? How can you choke them out? Like, you must have to have really big arms to get round that whole area. Like, it's huge.
He does have one hell of a neck. I don't know is the answer. I wish I could tell you, but I
had a little side note on that. I had a little thought, right? I was listening to Jax, listening to the whole promo, and he's like, don't ever mention Tim Storm's name again. Like, he's one of my best friends. And in my head, I'm going, ooh, Jax and Tim Storm tag team. Now I'm like, and I started making up all these scenarios in my head, but I was thinking Jax and Tim versus Silvio and Troop could be quite interesting. And then I realised that Tim wasn't at the tapings. So that's gone out the window. But I was like, oh, maybe we'll see that. And then I realised, oh, he wasn't there. So
doesn't mean to say we won't see it.
No, I know. I just thought, just the way that they were talking, I thought that would actually be quite a nice kind of closure. They went in the ring to try and beat the shit out of each other. Tim obviously got injured. The match ended early, and not the way either of them wanted to. But there's obviously a connection there. They've obviously a lot of respect for each other. I kind of feel like it would be quite nice to see them tag with each other.
Yeah.
Right. When's the Crockett Cup?
Yeah, like, ooh. A long time. However, something could happen at Samhain that brings Tim back. Maybe. Who knows? We'll have to wait a couple of weeks to see. But that would be an interesting one. But yes, submission match for Samhain has been set.
That'll be so good.
And that will be it'll be a hard-hitting submission match, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
The next bit was Vampiro was talking. He's got the upper bit because NWA are pressuring him for a stipulation for the match at Samhain.
And he, don't put me in a box, is pretty much the quote that he said last night. Don't put me in a box, don't push my buttons.
So I'm thinking, don't put me in a box. Sounds like a casket match.
Ooh. Do you know, that didn't even cross my mind last night when I was watching it?
Yeah, the only reason I thought of that, because I'm going to be seeing a coffin match in a couple of weeks. Show that I'm going to Halloween. Bits to that. But literally the day before Samhain, I'm going to. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, I was thinking maybe coffin match. I hadn't written down in my notes coffin match or casket match.
Okay, no, do you know, that didn't even cross my mind. But yeah, that would make sense for the pay-per-view, given the vibe of the pay-per-view. And yeah, okay.
Good. I mean, I don't know if there's 6 of them in there, but
no. But I wonder, were they hinting at, like, I'm just trying to remember, were they hinting at like Vampiro versus I was about to say Silent J? No, that's from a different film.
That's a very different type of
totally different film, like Silent J, Jay and Silent Bob. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's it.
Are they hinting at a singles match, or are they? Okay.
Maybe, but it could be, as I say, it could be a casket match. That's what I was thinking. When
I'm going to write that down actually on my notes now. I'm going to have to think about that one. That's quite good. Okay.
So let's move on to the really fun bit that I'm looking forward to. It's Sal the Pal against Judias. This was Power versus Speed. And
and Sal went right in.
He did.
He went right in, and at the beginning I was like, wow, Sal's got moves, and he was all over that ring, and Judais was just kind of like, what is going on? And threw his and everywhere, and then it all went horribly wrong.
Yeah, and then Powerr started winning, and when Powerr starts winning, it was winning in a big way. And then just to
and then your boy,
my boy Gags the Gimp. And what move did he hit, Fee?
I don't know. I think you should tell me. I'm really not sure. I think I kind of mentally blocked that
I
bit
bet
out.
you when you saw it, you thought, oh no, Adam's going to mention this.
Go on, say it.
The Gags reflex on Judais for a DQ finish on that one.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw Gags run out, I was like, I literally was like, and I knew you would be like,
no, just no.
It was good. But then they announced some matches were flashing on the screen for next week.
Yeah, so we've got Mecha Wolves versus Yabo.
Go for it. Yep.
We've got Max the Impaler versus MG Jenkins.
Yep.
We have Zion versus Chris Adonis.
Yes.
And we have Tom Latimer versus Cole Axamana.
We do.
So that's some good matches again for next week.
What a week next week.
Yeah.
We haven't even finished this week yet. Rolando is next. Loser leaves town match.
Yeah. Good. Rolando's kind of thrown Rush under the bus here.
Yeah. You've just been squashed, and now soon, I'm taking it soon. It's not been announced fully when it is, but
no.
Who's in between?
Rush versus Brady Pierce. So basically, it's the Spectaculars have kind of imploded a little bit like the Savages imploded, and now it's Rush versus Brady, and I'm presuming Rolando's going to be in Brady's corner.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just. Oh no. Actually, no, scrap that. It's Rush versus Brady. Rolando is the referee and has said he will do it straight down the line. Now, that rings a bell, and I'm pretty sure Ricky said the same thing. And Ricky's straight down the line was kind of like a couple of right angles, a couple of diagonals. I'm not convinced by Rolando, to be honest with you.
Ricky's refereeing was a roundabout.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't straight down the line at all. It was a straight what a roundabout would be. So I'm not sure about this one either. But when it gets announced, I'm sure it'll probably be Samhain, I would have thought. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Then Adonis. I do like it when who's that referee? Who's the announcer that he talks to?
It's Kyle.
Kyle.
Kyle Davis.
I will say this about Kyle Davis. Every interview that he has, I love his facials.
Yeah, I love watching him. Half the time I'm watching him instead of whoever's talking.
Yeah,
he's brilliant. He's a face full of expressions.
He certainly is. He should call himself Expressions. He's great. Anyway, he wants the Thrill Billy. He wants the Thrill Billy for the title, and that's the gone for what title he's got.
That's the national championship.
That's the one. I get that on the NWA heavyweight title confused, but I know
you've got the World's Championship, the National Championship, and the TV Championship.
That's how I'm going to remember it from now on. The National Championship. That's how I'm going to. He wants the National Championship off of the Thrill Billy. Does what did he call himself? The Sexy Jesus or something like that?
Sexy Jesus.
Sexy Jesus. Well, I
not overly wrong.
No comment really from me. Really agree or disagree with that. I don't dig his hair though. He was better with his short hair.
I know. I like his long hair.
I don't know.
That's a whole different conversation, though.
Yeah, I've got a feeling in a couple of years he'll look like Shawn Michaels does now.
I'm sure he'll get rid of it by then.
Shawn Michaels a couple of weeks ago looked like the guy out of the Home Alone movies. Do you remember Old Man Marley?
Oh my God! Oh, dear Lord, I think you'll find that Chris will probably fix it before then.
Yeah, I would think so. I hope so. I would say this is main event time, but there's a second match after this. Funnily enough,
so there was a lot going on last night, an awful lot going on last night.
So it was originally the Country Gentlemen, which is AJ and Casey.
Yeah, he just got a new tag partner, his little brother. That's exciting.
His little wee brother against Daisy, Kilt, and Talos. I felt so sorry for Talos. He was having issues getting in that ring.
He's so tall.
He was nearly falling over when he was getting his legs in. There was a couple of occasions during this match where he got tagged in and he got one leg over. And every time he went to get the other leg, he was like falling over. He's obviously 7 foot tall. It was a really good, although it was reasonably short, it was a really good one. But
and it was for the belts as well. I don't know if you'd said that or not. So it's for the US Tag Team Championships.
I hadn't said that. But, it was for the US Tag Team Championships. And It was great. It was a good short match. But what the choke slam on Casey. He nearly drilled him through.
Welcome to the NWA, kiddo.
Yeah, that's your welcome. A 7-foot choke slam from Talos picks up the win, and then the credits were rolling. I thought, oh, Power's done. I'm just
Yeah.
about to get up, and then the
And
Immortals
then
come out,
there's always a but or an name.
or an Immortal in this case. The Immortals come out, and that bit of to in and throw in, and then that match is on. And I'm thinking they've got 3 minutes left of Power here. What is going to happen? They're going to do a really quick match in 3 minutes. It started to get good, and then Talos and Daisy Kill decide we had enough.
We're out.
We're
Pick
out
up
of
your
here,
belts and take them home.
and they did, and they got counted out. So I'm assuming will happen in the future. But
I don't know. I think there's more to come from that. Oda's going to create us as a tag team. The Immortals, I love them both. I think they're a great tag team. I am hoping to see more of them. I think they would look great with those belts. I'm not going to lie. I am not the biggest fan of the current champions.
no,
I just can't. I can't. I don't know. I just can't gel with them. Something's just not. Yeah, it's not there with me for them.
you're not connected to them.
No, not at all. So I don't know if it's because they're fairly new on the scene or whatever, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not getting it.
Well, they may not be tag team for much longer. We don't know. That's something that we'll have to find out. I'm sure the Immortals will want another shot.
I hope so. Another match at Samhain. See,
Now,
I said it wrong there.
You're calling it Cement from
Samhain.
NWA
Oh my God.
Cement.
NWAC next time, going to choose an easier name for your pay-per-view. Thanks.
I agree. They need to do that. It took me 3 weeks to get it right, so I can't get it right. But that was a great episode of Power. Another one.
Oh, it was fabulous last night.
Big week, every week on week it gets better.
It does. This season's been phenomenal from start to present. It's just been go. I have totally after the first couple of weeks, I am so on board with these entrances and stuff now. I am so on board with the show rundown at the start. I love that. I'm just on board with the whole thing now. So yay.
Apart
well
from
done,
the
NWA. You won me over.
You've won him over. Apart from the Spectacular's entrance, you've won. Theo, they really need to work on their moves. That looked. I think the word.
I'm going to ask you to do that when I see you next time.
Well, funny enough, we'll get onto that very, very shortly. But that's Campers Christmas was the word I was going to use for their and you want me to do that? Well, you may have a chance to see me do that because we're now getting into the point where I say, Fee, what have you been up to? But if you read Twitter and you have Inside the Ropes on Twitter, you would have known what they've just announced. But Fee, I'll leave it to your good self to announce that and then announce what the hell are you up to?
So I actually only found out before we started this podcast that had been announced. In December on the 10th in Glasgow, the 11th in Manchester and the 12th in London, we are bringing an intimate show over to the UK with none other than The Godfather and Papa Shango. I am so excited.
They are the same person.
They are the same person, by the way. It's not two different people. As far as I'm aware, the VIPs and the photo opportunities will be with Papa Shango. From what I can gather. But 3 small shows. I have no idea what the venues are. I've literally just found out about it this evening. But I am super excited to be part of that. So then, yeah, if you come to London, Adam, you can do your Spectacular's entrance and I will film it for all these lovely people to see.
Well, I've kind of said I'll be there because it's the last time I'll get to see you in person before Christmas. It's on a Tuesday, which is helpful for me. Rachel has said though that she's not keen on having the pictures because Papa Shango was one of the people that she used to hate. Not hate, that's not the right word. Was scared of.
He freaked me out a little bit when I was younger, to be honest with you. And I was probably old enough to know better, but I was still like, ooh. I have had the pleasure several years ago, one of my eldest son, not my eldest child, my eldest son and I went to a Scottish Wrestling Alliance show in Motherwell up here, and he was there at that, and we got to meet him, and he was lovely. They did a rumble, and he wrestled twice, once as Godfather, and then came back in as Papa Shango, so we put a shift in that night.
He certainly did. I can't wait to see how he does the how quickly he takes off. So he is doing 2 meet and greets, actually. I'm just reading off the Inside the Ropes website. Tickets go on sale this Saturday at 3 p.m. So they're doing a Voodoo VIP, which is very well priced. Am I right to say the prices? I'm guessing.
Yeah, of course. That's fine.
Just wanted to get permission. Voodoo VIP, which is the Papa Shango meet and greet, $39.99, which is
wow, that's awesome.
The Pimpin VIP, which is obviously the meet and greet the Godfather, or you can do the Ultimate VIP for $58.99, and you get to do both. And if you just want to turn up and don't want to do that, general admission is $17.99, all plus fees. And I can also give you the locations now.
Oh, perfect. That's great, because you know more than I do, and I work for them.
Kenny, I want my commission. Glasgow's is at the Classic Grand.
Okay. Which is where we do most of our shows in Glasgow, to be fair.
Yep.
Is it Gorilla in Manchester?
Gorilla in Manchester. You've got that spot on. But London is not at 229.
Mm-hmm.
London is at the Boston Music Room.
Oh, great. We've been there loads of times with people over the years. That's a great wee venue as well. Superb.
So I need to just Google that myself to see
where we are.
See where we are. That's fine. So yes, tickets go on sale Saturday, 3 o'clock. Sorry, Fee, I'm taking your thunder here.
No, listen, it's absolutely fine, because I literally only found out that this had gone live. I knew that it was a possibility this afternoon. I didn't know it had gone live, so I haven't even had a chance. Like I said, I was out early and I rushed home for this, so I haven't seen any social media. So that just proves the point that I tell everybody when they say who's coming next. Kenny doesn't tell us until the last minute, so that nobody leaks, nobody accidentally spills the beans. So I have literally found out at the same time as you guys. So
there you go. So that is it. But Fiona, why don't you tell everyone what else you're doing? So I've stole your
What else am I doing? Right, where to start? This Friday night I am with Pro Wrestling Scotland in View Park, which is not far from me. It's only about a 15-minute drive for me. So a nice wee local show, which is good. The following weekend it is the W3L Resolution weekend. So we have got 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. And this is really bad, but Friday is Musselburgh, Saturday I think it's somewhere in Fife, potentially. That's really bad. I don't remember. The week after that, which is Friday the 27th, it is Premier British Wrestling's Maximum Impact, which is one, if not the biggest show on the Premier British Wrestling calendar of the year. That's in Greenock Town Hall. That is looking to be an absolutely outstanding show. The card's looking great for it, so I'm really, really excited for that. And then I have a couple of weeks off, and then into November I've got a few bits and pieces, but that's ages away, although it's really not that far. And then obviously the 28th we've got Samhain, so we'll be watching that.
We will, and we'll be reviewing Samhain as well. That would be one we're doing now. I haven't got too much going on, but unless I say that, I've got a couple. I'm going to Progress Wrestling next weekend for their Halloween special.
Are you dressing up?
Yeah, no.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Well, dressing, I'll tell you what, I'll grow a goatee and I'll go a Stone Cold Steve Austin. How about that? I'll wear my Austin shirt. What are you shaking your head for?
You can't go to a Halloween show and not go in fancy dress.
I can absolutely do that. And I'm not gutted that Eddie Kingston ain't going to be there. I would have dressed up as Eddie Kingston. But because he's champion and he's got some back injuries and stuff, he decided not to do any more independent shows, which is fair enough.
Next time.
Definitely. Following week, I'm at another Halloween show. This is closer to me in rain. No, I'm not dressing up. Nor is Rachel, so you can moan at her.
I'll speak to her, don't you worry.
Yeah.
We'll gang up on you.
We're going to RCWA, and that's where they've got the coffin match between Warren Banks and Kelly Six. They've got a coffin match. They've got loads of other matches on the card. Mark True against Corey McRae. You've seen both of those when you come to Buckle Up. They're going against each other. Mark True is now Revolution Pro Wrestling as well, so he's now a Rev Pro standout. The following week, fun enough, I'm at Revolution Pro Wrestling for their live in London show, and then the week after that, I am back at Ignite to watch Smashing Mike defend our title. Well, his title, but our title in a sense.
It's your baby.
It's our baby, yeah, against Chris Ridgway, and plus a load of other matches for Ignite, which will be running down. Not going to do much on the interviews. We're still working on our big one. No, I still can't announce it. I'm probably going to be announcing it in November, fingers crossed. But suffice to say, that guest likes wars. No, it's not Vladimir Putin. or anyone else for that matter in that sense. But yeah, it'll be great when we can officially announce it, and then I'll be really happy. But until then, we can zip it and say nothing until then. But guys, this has been another fantastic NWA episode of the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. She has been Fiona Loughran. As always, I have been your host, Adam Cousins, and we'll be back next week for the next installment of Powerr. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe. Goodbye.
Laters.
Bye. Toodles.